Hey, just in time for the holidays, what if you didn't have to worry about any of that credit card debt? If you're feeling stuck making the minimum payments and you don't want to have to put Christmas on a credit card, we can help at savewithconrad.com. We routinely help our listeners save hundreds of dollars a month. Find out how much money you can save right now for free at savewithconrad.com.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett First Arcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, Bond, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off center stage. Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette, Champ, Vinnie, Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chair. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when? WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad the Mortgage Guy, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm great. I'm excited to be with you.
I'm glad you are. Take a look at this beautiful puppy here. Hey, Scout.
Would you?
Scout, come here, girl. She is such a sweet dog. Get your daddy's girl right there. I know. She's just waiting for mommy to come up with treats. Look at her coming over to see me. I had a good girl. It's a good girl. Hey, so anyway, there we go.
Hey, so there we go. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Last week, you guys had Blood and Freaking Guts, and what a show it was. Unbelievable show in Greensboro, but some of your old friends were there. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Ricky Steamboat was there, as you saw. The Nature Boy Ric Flair was there at the beginning. He did not get on television because of it just didn't work out, and we attempted to. But we attempted it for having to do a pre-tape, but Rick was hurting. Okay, he really was. He had fallen down, as you probably know. He had to go to see our doctor at the beginning, and I think he may have a torn rotator cuff. I'm not so sure. So we let him do something at the beginning of the show and let him leave. So our best for him to get better. But Ricky Steamboat came out, and as we found out, Ricky can still throw a chop, can he?
He sure can. It was a lot of fun. It felt like old times with those two in the Greensboro Coliseum. And if we're going to talk about Jim Crockett Promotions today, it feels like we should talk about Bob Caudle.
Yeah.
Tony, I know you're not on social media, but it's hard to believe. But about 3.5 years ago, you and I were talking about Ric Flair's last match. And believe it or not, we were somehow able to get the old gang back together. We recreated the old set from TBS. We had you and David on the call, but it would have felt incomplete without Bob Caudle. And I don't know that you even saw this because you were actually working that night, but I wanted to share the pay-per-view open because, believe it or not, it wound up being Bob Caudle's last appearance around wrestling. And shout out to the Mid-Atlantic Gateway and most specifically David Crockett for helping make this happen. I think Silva's got that ready for us. Let's take a look, Tony.
For many decades, whether it be in Raleigh, Techwood Drive Studios in Atlanta, or all points in between, the magic of Jim Crockett Promotions was thanks to all of the great competitors in the ring and thanks to all of you many fans. From the Charlotte Coliseum to New York City to Los Angeles and all points in between, the majesty of the World's Heavyweight Championship, the sheer perfection of athletic competition, and the grueling nature of personal grudges being settled once and for all have captivated wrestling fans the world over. Those memories live on as immortal legends, myths of a time long gone but never forgotten. Names such as Dusty Rhodes, the Road Warriors, Sergeant Slaughter, Terry Funk, Harley Race, Ricky Steamboat, Sting, Greg Valentine, the Midnight Express, Roddy Piper, and of course, the dreaded Four Horsemen. They all stepped inside the squared circle to battle and prove that they were the all-time best professional wrestlers in the world. Tonight we celebrate the past and pay tribute to all those great moments while making new indelible memories as the Nature Boy Ric Flair walks that aisle for the very last time. For one night, we all step back in time to embrace everything we all loved about Jim Crockett Promotions. And for one moment in time, we all get to be home together again. So, welcome home. And finally, I want to thank all you fans for allowing me to come into your home over these many, many years. It's been an outstanding time, and I appreciate all of you. And I want you to know I love you all. And now it's time to go ringside. And my wrestling announcing partners, David Crockett and Tony Schiavone.
I got a lump in my throat, Tony.
It's hard to have fun after that. I received a text Sunday morning when I landed from Dick Bourne, a Mid-Atlantic Gateway, who told me that Bob had died. I had talked to Dick about going to see Bob right before Blood and Guts, drive over to Raleigh, but my flight got in so late I couldn't. So I was thinking that maybe when I go to WrestleCade, which I'm going to go to in Winston-Salem right after Thanksgiving, that I could drive up and see him, and that would not happen. And that, I feel, something I'm going to regret the rest of my life. But what I'm not going to regret is hearing Bob say my name for probably the final time. And probably the final thing he ever said on TV, and was my name. And I'm not going to regret being able to say that I worked with him, because when I was, and I'm not going to say growing up as a kid, but when I was in high school and became a wrestling fan, that's when I became a wrestling fan, my sophomore year in high school. And then became a wrestling, and then stayed as a wrestling fan through my college years. Bob Caudle and David Crockett were the guys that called the matches. Now, Rich Landrum called matches on Worldwide, but Bob Caudle was the man on Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. So I grew up during those years, and then, of course, graduated from college, eventually worked with Jim Crockett Promotions. And the first time that they paired me up with Bob Caudle was the Spartanburg Memorial Auditorium. Don't know when that was. That had to be like 84, 85. And we're standing there before we're going to, we tape the shows. We're standing there, those long microphones. And I turned to him and I said, Bob, I apologize for being a fanboy here, but this is one of the biggest moments of my life. To be able, all the years that I saw you, all the years that I listened to you, all the years that I appreciated what you said and how you said it, and how you made me want to go to shows and how you made me excited about seeing it. I said, this is one of the biggest moments of my life. And it was, and it has stuck with me through the years, and never hit us home as much as then when Bob passed away. And so that's one of the great moments of my life. Bob Caudle is one of my heroes, and I don't have many, but Bob is. What made Bob great, and what I try to take from listening to Bob Caudle, is that he always made the matches, and he always made the athletes, and he always made the events about the wrestlers and not about him. And with Bob calling the play-by-play the Great Straight Man, and David Crockett being excited and raw and an owner of the promotion and wanted to sell everything. And it was a wonderful combination. It was. Now, here I go in 1985, and I'm standing next to David Crockett. And again, I tell David, this is a big deal for me, So I got to work with two of my heroes. I really, look at this. Can you beat that? Can you beat that from a freaking redneck kid from Virginia who loved wrestling and watched Bob Caudle to be able to stand next to him? What the hell? Is my life not complete? My life's complete. Because I knew Bob Caudle, I knew David Crockett, and worked with him. God bless Bob Caudle, brother.
So long for now.
Yeah, so he lived a long, great life. And the last time I saw him, David and I probably had that picture somewhere. I should have given it to you. We went to the, this is before his wife died. We went to the assisted living home where he was, and he came to the cafeteria, and we sat down and talked. And he told me something I'll never forget. He said, the two things that an elderly person, the two worst things that can happen to an elderly person is they fall or they outlive their money. I'll never forget that advice. Bob lost his wife, and I know he was in hospice. He lived a long and wonderful life. Not only did Bob Caudle live a wonderful life as a wrestling announcer, but he was in politics as well. I believe I'm right. And I
knew he was in the news. I didn't know he did politics.
I believe, if I'm right, he was in the news, but he also was employed by Jesse Helms as one of his staff members.
Okay.
I may be wrong, but somebody can look that up, but I believe he was. And Jesse Helms was a long time, staunch Republican and a legendary figure in North Carolina politics.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. He was a legislative assistant for Senator Jesse Helms after he left WRAL in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, how about that?
Yep. Bob was a great man. Great man. His wife was a wonderful person.
We sure are going to miss Mr. Bob Caudle. I can't tell you how excited we were to have his voice to sort of open up the show, celebrating really Jim Crockett Promotions. Of course, it was Ric Flair's last match, but we just wanted to go full tilt with JCP, and I didn't think we could really do that without Mr. Bob Caudle. And I'm sure you agree. Prior to we'll call it the 605, the WTBS expansion. I mean, Caudle really was the voice of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling for so many years, right?
Yes, he was the man in Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. He's the one that got me into wrestling, his voice. In reality, if I go back and I think about this, Jimmy Crockett approached me and said, do you want to do the TBS show? And without even batting an eye, I went, yes. But in retrospect, Bob Caudle should have been able to do that. And, Bob was still doing Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, and I was doing worldwide. And so there you go. And of course,
that'd be a good question for David. I wonder if the Crockett's felt like they needed someone younger to compete with Vince.
Well, you know what? That's probably so. I mean,
or just different, hey, we're going to change announcers, and it feels like hey, that was the old way. This is the new way. That was when we were regional. Now we're national. I don't know, maybe, but we should ask Crockett sometime. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think we should. I think that's a great question for David. Absolutely.
Well, if David were here, I'm sure we'd talk about Caudle, and then, David and I, eventually we're going to start talking about wieners. Guys, enter the room dick first. Blue Chew is not just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like somebody gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. I got to tell you, this ain't a supplement. This is an erection resurrection. Guys, we're not just talking about your performance. We're talking about your legacy or your third leg. See, give her group chat something to talk about. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Go discover your options right now at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code WHW at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head on over to BlueChew.com for details and important safety information. And a big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast and Mr. Crockett's wiener.
I didn't realize you and David talked about wieners a lot.
Man, we talk about them so much that it always makes us think of our other friend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, The Game Event with Efren.
Did someone say wiener? This is professional wrestling's #1 game show, live on What Happened When. Welcome to the game event. Hi, everyone. I'm your host, Efren. It is great to be back here on What Happened When. Tony Conrad, how the hell are you?
Better now that you're here, Efren. How are you, brother?
That was just the most awesome tribute, man.
Yeah, Bob
Thank
Cobb.
you for that. Conrad Thompson, how are you?
Better than I deserve, man. I can't wait to play this game. We had so much fun with you a couple of weeks ago. Excited we get to do it again.
We are playing the game of fortune. Oh my goodness. Let's play the game event. Category for round 1, gentlemen, is Who Am I? And Tony, we're going to have you spin the wheel in just a second.
Okay.
You know how this works. Vowels, you got to have 250 points for vowels.
Okay.
We're going to play a couple rounds. Let's spin the wheel, Tony.
Okay. Ready? Whew. Man, spin
Tony,
that.
you're in the red. 500, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a letter.
I'll take a B.
No B. Conrad,
Fuck a
let's
fucking
spin.
B.
Hell yeah, let's spin. Big money, big money, big money, big money.
Loser leave. Yeah.
600.
Okay. Let me get a D.
D.
For
Gotta have the
dickhead
D.
Conrad. Okay.
1D, Conrad.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and guess.
All right.
Huh?
I'll take an S. I'll take an S.
Well, let's spin the wheel again.
Got to spin the wheel,
Okay.
dumbass. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, I'm for it. There's nothing with spending, you cocksucker.
800.
How about the S now?
S. 1S, Conrad. 1400. You have enough
I'd
to
like
buy
to
that.
spin.
Spin.
Big money, big money, big money.
Jesus.
Oh, you have to leave town, Conrad. Loser leaves town, and you have lost your turn.
Yeah.
Tony, back to you.
All right. Spin that son of a bitch. Let's go.
$600, Tony.
I will take an M
M as in Mary.
as in Mary. Wow.
3 M's, Tony.
Oh, wow. 3 M's. Okay. I will spin again.
Spin. $600.
A C.
C. No C. Conrad.
I'd like to spin.
You got to leave town again, Conrad. Goodness me.
Hit the bricks, big guy.
Tony.
Yep. Let's spin her.
$900.
Oh, wow. Give me an R.
R. 1 R. You can buy a vowel if you like too, Tony. You have enough money to buy a vowel.
Yeah, I'll buy an A.
Buy an A.
Damn it, he's gonna get it now.
There are 8 A's, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Spin
Who am
by
I?
solve.
I'll spin again.
$600.
Y.
No Y. Conrad.
I'd like to spin, please.
$600.
Why don't you hit me with them H's?
H. 4 H's, Conrad.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Sure.
E.
4 E's, Conrad. Who am I?
Hangman Adam Page as The Phantom of the Opera.
$35.50 for you. We go to round 2, and the category is, to quote Schiavone. Conrad, let's spin the wheel.
God,
700.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I'd like to say why.
Why? 2 Y's, Conrad.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Sure.
I'd like to buy an E.
Better not come to me because I've got it already.
3 E's.
I'd like to solve.
Go ahead.
You're exactly right, Excalibur.
Totals after 2 rounds. Conrad with 4,700. Tony not on the board yet. We go to our next puzzle. Tony, you're up. Category is, what's he doing? Lot of letters up there, Tony. Ready to spin?
Yeah. Spin it. A lot of dots up there, too.
800.
800. S.
S as in Sam.
Mm-hmm.
1 S.
Spin. Here we go.
$500.
R.
3 R's, Tony. 2,300.
Spin again.
$600, Tony.
M as in Mary.
No M. Conrad.
I'd like to spin, please.
Yes. Future endeavored, Conrad. Stand by. Wait for it.
Uh-oh, this doesn't look good.
Tony, you are up.
Spin.
500, Tony.
We're going to go with D as in dog.
D as in dog. No D. Conrad.
Nobody's ever said no D, Conrad, but let's spin.
600.
Give me a T.
T is in Tom. 2 T's. And as I look at my clock, Tony and Conrad,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're just out of time.
I'm going to give the wheel a final spin. Vowels are worth nothing. Consonants are worth. In the yellow, we are going with 500. I'll add another 1,000 to that. All consonants are worth $1,500 right now. Conrad, it's still your turn.
Can I buy a vowel?
You can get a vowel. You won't get any money for it, and you'll have 3 seconds to solve.
Okay, let me get an E.
1 E, 3 seconds.
I don't have it.
Tony, you can pick a consonant or get a vowel.
I'll do a consonant. I'll do an H.
H. 3 H's, 3 seconds, Tony.
I don't know.
Conrad.
Give me a W.
2 W's, Conrad. Tony.
Give me an N.
3 N's. Conrad.
Give me an O.
Oh, no money for that O? 4 O's. Tony.
Give me a Y.
1Y.
Oh
Conrad.
shit.
Give me a C.
2 C's, Conrad.
Tony watches NWA, Ring of Honor, and Chikara.
That is incorrect. Tony.
Give me an N. Do we have an N? We've
N has already been used.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Conrad,
Yes.
you are up.
Fuck.
Let me get an F.
1 F, Conrad.
Tony watches AWA, Ring of Honor, and Chikara.
That is incorrect. Tony.
By a vowel A. Get a vowel
A.
Uh-huh. Huh.
Conrad.
Let me get a G.
What
Tony
is it?
Tony watches PWG, Ring of Honor, and Chikara.
Final scores. Conrad with 16,400 points. Tony, thank you for showing up. We go to the bonus round, Conrad.
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Category is film.
Okay.
GMEVNT. What's coming up? I need 3 more consonants and 1 more vowel.
I'd like to solve, please.
Go ahead.
A Bug's Life.
Look at that!
Holy shit, you're smarter than you look, Conrad.
The game event returns Royal Rumble weekend as part of Ad Free Shows' big extravaganza. Tony, Conrad, thank you for having me as always.
Thank you, man. That was
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank
We
you.
do-
Ren.
We do a little donation in your honor this month. We donate to the Marshall County Hope Center, the Marietta Community Food Center, and for your next guest, the Second Harvest Food Bank of Metrolina. We say goodbye with one final puzzle here on the game event to say thank you to all of you. Enjoy the show.
Oh, wow.
Good night from your host, Efren, and the game event. Have a great show, guys.
Thanks, Efren. That was
Thank
good
you very
stuff,
much,
man.
Efren.
Great
We
stuff.
had a blast with that. We got to talk about our friends at Stopbox right now. I want to remind you, Christmas is coming up, and we all know somebody who owns a handgun for self-defense. Well, here's something you may not know. Their storage likely fits into one of 2 frustrating categories. They've got it locked away, but that means it's safe, but actually it's out of reach in case of an emergency, or it's unsecured, which means you're leaving it vulnerable to anyone. Well, Stopbox USA saw the problem and designed a groundbreaking solution called the Stopbox Pro. With the Stopbox Pro, you'll never have to choose between security and readiness again. Its ingenious push-button locking system gives you fast, reliable access when every second matters without the hassle of keys or reliance on batteries. It's 100% mechanical, so it works every time, no power needed. And with the Stopbox USA, you can finally have both security and readiness. You see, the Stopbox Pro's mechanical keyless system allows for fast, secure access without the risk of fumbling for keys when every second counts. It's also battery-free, so you never have to worry about your lock not working. And with the holidays coming up, there's never been a better time to upgrade your own home security or give the peace of mind to someone you truly care about. Whether it's for your own nightstand or for a loved one who takes safety seriously, the Stopbox Pro delivers the perfect balance of protection and preparedness. All the products are made right here in the USA, so there's no tariffs to worry about. And the Stopbox Pro is actually TSA compliant. if you're really shopping for somebody who's hard to buy for, I want to tell you the Stop Box also has vehicle safes, chamber locks, and other essential gear designed to keep you both prepared and protected wherever you may be. The holidays just got a little safer and a whole heck of a lot more affordable. For a limited time only, our listeners are getting a crazy good deal. Not only do you get 10% off your entire order when you use the code WHW10 at stopboxusa.com, but check this out. They're also giving you a buy one, get one free for their Stopbox Pro. That's right, 10% off and a free Stopbox Pro when you use the code WHW10 at stopboxusa.com. That's WHW10 at stopboxusa.com. And Tony, right now, I think we're welcoming our very special guest. I'm fired up to be here because we're going to do something fun. We're going to watch wrestling with some of our friends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program, the incredible Chris Hero. Chris, how are you, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Chris,
Man, we're
you're the man,
great.
buddy. Thank you very much for being here.
Man, you're the man, Tony.
No, not at all.
Conrad, how the heck are you?
Man, I'm great. Thank you so much for jumping on with us. I'm excited to be watching some old Ring of Honor with you. I think you've got us going back to Final Battle 2007. What are we going to be watching here, man?
Yeah, this is a four-way between Bryan Danielson, Takeshi Morishima, Austin Aries, and myself. And I would say I was doing this like super athlete kind of gimmick at the time with like this whole entourage, and Larry Sweeney is my agent. And this was kind of like the pinnacle of that character. And I think it was pretty much this show where I decided I needed to either turn babyface or change what I was doing as a heel because I was not getting any heat. I was like a favorite of the crowd. So that wasn't doing me any favors. So this, and of course, just to be in the Manhattan Center and then be in there with some incredible talents, I thought, oh, that'd be a fun one to revisit. It is 07. So what is that? Is that 18 years ago?
How wild is that
Sure
to say
is,
out
buddy.
loud?
Yeah. I'm excited. And thank you both for having me. I always love spending time with you guys.
We appreciate it. Chris, before we move on, fans, take a look behind Chris Hero. He is that. Look at that. I showed Chris Hero my collection of shoes, and then I just sunk into a little heap when he showed me his collection of his, and I went, my God.
No, not at all. It's I'm so happy that you have gotten into it and you found shoes that you like. And, this is something that's been amassed like over the last 5 years or so.
Right.
So it's not like, you are just a couple months in and you already have an incredible collection. So, I actually have a couple pairs right to my left, Tony.
All right. Here we go.
You remember these I was wearing the other day?
Yes.
This green New Balance.
Oh, beautiful. I love green.
Good.
Chris is so excited about his shoes he froze up on us, but I'm sure there you go. Now show those next.
Yeah, I'll show them again real quick. So green's my favorite color. I believe it's your favorite color as well, Mr. Schiavone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wore these at TV, and I was just so pleased. They felt incredible that I just went out and I got an all black pair.
Wow.
So I can travel in these and not worry about smashing them up.
They comfortable when you walk around TV in them?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is clutch. That is clutch.
That is clutch. Yeah.
I had actually seen a thread on Reddit talking about the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander SGA Converse shoes.
Right.
And he was talking about how like when you put your foot in them, they feel great. And he's like, as soon as you lace them up and zip them up, it's like putting a chokehold on your foot. Like you got a Kyle O'Reilly ankle lock on you.
Exactly. I wore my SGAs to TV.
Mm-hmm.
Were you there when I wore them? I was showing off.
No, you told me about it the next week.
Yeah, and then I was zipped them up and I went, holy shit. This is like a grip on my toes. So, but anyway, they look good, so I'll wear them again.
Yeah. You just it's so funny. wearing a shoe for a couple hours is different than wearing a shoe for an entire day.
Yes.
Or wearing a shoe to the airport is different than, just going to a basketball game and watching a game in some shoes. So it's very important. And gosh, you don't want to you have compression socks. You don't want to have compression shoes.
No, you don't. One more shoe thing, and then we'll get to the footage.
Yeah.
Get to the matches. I got in Nikes that I designed, custom Nikes, and I had them on Saturday, but you were not there, and they were like the mid Air Force Ones, and they were pretty snug on me as well. So anyway, so I'll wear.
Yeah, you're at, what is that, a 10 and a half?
10 and a half, yeah.
10 and a half, yeah. And shoes vary, sometimes you need to half size up.
Right.
Yeah. So
there you go. There's our shoe report for today, Conrad.
Yeah, and also just not to take complete credit, to this side are mine, and those are Rachel's over there. So it's not all my shoes. Okay. We split them right down the middle.
It's shoe nerd family is what we got.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Life happens fast. 1 minute you're driving home after work. The next, you see flashing lights in your rearview mirror. Your heart skips. Your hands tighten on the wheel, and you start asking yourself, what do I do now? That's when you need someone on your side. And with the Legal Buddy app, you can connect with a local attorney in seconds. Not hours, not days, but right when you need help. Whether it's a DWI, a car accident, a criminal charge, or even just a traffic ticket, the Legal Buddy app puts real legal support right in your pocket. Imagine having an attorney on call, ready to guide you through some of life's most stressful moments. This isn't a call center. It's not a waiting game. It's direct access to a lawyer who understands your situation and your community, and one who can step in right away. Think about it. When trouble knocks, do you want to face it alone? Or would you rather have the confidence of knowing a professional is already on your side? That's the peace of mind that Legal Buddy gives you. And here's how easy it is. Just download the Legal Buddy app right now at legalbuddyapp.com. Register today and use the referral code LEGAL for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card. Life is unpredictable. Accidents happen, tickets happen, mistakes happen. But when they do, you don't have to go through it alone. The Legal Buddy app, always on your side. Download the app today and enter the referral code LEGAL.
Chris, I want you to hang in there with this one. This is a countdown that DJ Turnup did for us, and it shows you how Conrad can get when he gets a little bit angry.
Oh,
DJ, so, turn up.
You know it's all about
of all the things that you could commission Olivia Walker to make, he said, "Hey, Olivia, I got this idea. You know my nickname is the Hammer? What if you put a full arm on the back holding a hammer? Hear me out. Like a hammer. So it's a wooden shaft, and it's got like a sledge head on it. No, I'm talking about my hammer. No, not that one. The one. Yeah, so just like sew a dude's arm on the back. No, I want the rest of it to look classy, but this part I need to look like a fucking 4th grade art project. Oh, it's $8,000? Great. I make great decisions when I'm hanging out with Brother Brewdog. I mean, what the fuck, dude? That's a really beautiful robe.
Yes.
But then that fucking arm. What is that?
Well, that's what he was known for. The elbow.
I understand, but when she made one for Ric Flair, did she put Woo on the back? Did she put a figure 4 on the back? Did she put a tray full of kamikazes on the back? Did she put blades on the back? Did she put ex-wives on the back? No, she put Nature Boy. You could have just put the Hammer. We get it. We've seen a fucking hammer. We don't need to see the visual. It's like those dumb fucks at Morton's Steakhouse. So the dumb fucks at Morton's Steakhouse, they bring you all the different cuts of beef. And listen, if you're a vegetarian, or maybe you're an idiot, I understand they need to explain the different cuts of beef to you. Got it. But then when it comes to the vegetables, they have the motherfucker come to your table holding a tomato. We have tomato salad, and he has an actual tomato in his hand, and he shows you a tomato as if you wandered off the fucking street and into this $100 a plate steakhouse, and you, my friend, have never seen or heard. You're not familiar with the foreign concept of a goddamn tomato. I got it, Chief. I don't need to see any more fucking produce. Show me the menu. I can read, which is how I afford this $100 meal.
So now you know what I put up with, Chris.
And the opening bell sounds. Danielson going after Morishima. A score still to be settled after last night.
I'm still shocked on that intro.
Yeah, it was a lot to take in.
What do you think about someone with a entrance robe that has all of their ex-wives on the back?
Can you imagine how awesome that would be?
Oh, gosh.
Oh my
It's
god!
like if it was a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout. There's
Yeah.
just patches, just one for like when the Buckeyes make a big play, they get a little sticker. He
Yeah.
gets another one for every
Yeah.
ex-wife.
I'm sure the ex-wife that beat him up would be the smaller sticker.
Demerit badges.
So tell us who's in here now, Chris.
All right, so this is Takeshi Morishima, and he was from Pro Wrestling Noah. And a lot of people compared him to Terry Gordy because of his physique.
Right.
And he was a pretty badass heavyweight wrestler in that era. He's no longer wrestling at the time. He had some health issues. He had to kind of fall back from wrestling, but he was just awesome. Just as agile as he was. He came through the Pro Wrestling Noah dojo. Also his hairstyle, he had like these bangs. Just kind of like Lego hair, you put Lego hair on a character.
Right.
But he was just a real big heavy hitter, and he was Ring of Honor champion. I don't believe at this time he was not the Ring of Honor champion, but Danielson dropped the belt to Homicide, and then it was like almost like a year-long chase for Homicide to get that belt. And then just a few months later, Homicide dropped it to Morishima. Morishima had like that's me getting the shit slapped out of me. And kicked. Yep.
Yes.
Those are unpleasant. Morishima had a great encounter with Samoa Joe in this very building. It was just very cool. There's just, especially this, I always preferred the grand ballroom here to the Hammerstein downstairs. It's just something about the balcony and how kind of you just feel like people are right on top of you. It's smaller, but also the nostalgia of the first Monday Night Raws. I just always preferred and felt like the crowds were hotter here. But when you have somebody like Samoa Joe or Morishima, they kind of bump into each other. It just makes for an incredible atmosphere. So he was wow. He would do that, right? Sit right on your head.
Boy, he was a big Terry Gordy looking guy. Man, he really was. That's a good call.
Yeah.
So go ahead. This is a tag team match?
No, this is a four-way.
Four-way. Okay.
And it's elimination.
Okay.
So essentially what I kind of believe here, if I had to look back on it, Danielson is essentially a babyface. Aries is pretty much a babyface, and then I'm like the heel, and Morishima is kind of like more of a monster heel.
Right.
So it's kind of like I'm trying to scheme, he's trying to steamroll people, and these guys are both trying to kick our asses.
Yeah. So as you said, you were a likable likable heel here, right?
Well, it was likable in the fact that I was ridiculous. I was obsessed with proving my athleticism. So I would do cartwheels and flips that were completely unnecessary. And it pissed people off initially, but after a while it became kind of like a funny bit. Like, how would he get into this situation where he could do a backflip or this, that, and the other? And I often would try to structure it in a way that I would, I'd get over on the guy, and then I'd slide off to the ring, and I'd do a flip, and I'd flip out of the ring, and I'd run around the ring, and I'd come right back in, and the guy drop kicked me in the face. So I would try to structure it in a way that would put somebody back on top of me. But there's one moment in particular here that the crowd particularly likes. Just a big goofball.
What can you tell us about wrestling Austin Aries? I know he was a big part of early Ring of Honor. I mean, ending Samoa Joe's legendary run. And I know in more recent years, people have had different takes on him than maybe what the narrative was back then. How was he in the ring?
Oh, he was just he was a great pro wrestler. he obviously, had strength and athleticism, but there was just something about his snap that made some of his moves look a little bit different. Also, he's a lefty. Oh shit! No tag from Morishima.
Went in with your hand high and got it right in the mush.
Yeah, that's another thing with Aries is he's left-handed, so you feed into something, you better, you better watch out. All right, what am I good? Also, so I have this whole entourage with me. You got Sweeney there. You see him pointing. You see Tank Tolan there.
Okay.
He's got like little springy exercise bar. And we have this student from the Ring of Honor school, Bobby Dempsey. He's got the curly blonde hair.
Okay.
I have him dressed up like Morishima. Like he's wearing a Morishima t-shirt and he's wearing trunks. He has a sauna suit underneath it. So we're trying to bully him into losing weight. And then that's Sarah Del Rey. So like that's our whole entourage.
Wow.
Sweet and sour. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How long had you been in wrestling by this time? By 07?
Coming 9 years, I would say 9 years. And I had been in Ring of Honor coming up on 2 years, or all of 06, all of 07. Yes, this is December 07. I started in January 06.
Chris, I think I told you that last week we watched The Cage of Death, where you had the microphone as the match is going on, hitting somebody and then walking around with a microphone and talking.
Yep.
Yeah,
cool. It was really fun to be able to hear. You can see Bobby Dempsey has no pants on. He's like, look, I'm wearing your shirt. Bam. And that would also be like, he was someone I would always bully. And it just made for fun dynamic in matches because fans really got behind him. And sorry, Brian.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He didn't even sell that shotgun drop kick.
No. I would, I'd be pissed that somebody was kicking my ass in the match and I would roll outside the ring and I'd slap Bobby in the face for no reason. Now, so Brian also isn't like he isn't like a pure baby face. He's just Bryan Danielson. And he had just earned the respect from fans that he didn't really, I mean, he's there, he's putting his foot on the ropes to try to win the match. So it's not like he's clean cut right down the middle, but he just had such respect, because everybody knew how good he was.
Chris, can you tell us, Morishima, is there another wrestler out there that the listening audience may be familiar with, either that you worked that would be a name here in America that they would recognize, just stylistically? Is there anybody out there who has a game comparable to him?
Gosh, it's tough. It's tough because he was, you say unique. He was definitely unique to this time. You could go back maybe, 15 years and there were more wrestlers that kind of had that big heavyweight style. But as far as now, it's a little bit tough. I guess Samoa Joe is a good example of a guy that's just a massive hunk of man, but also has that agility to turn on a dime and, use that explosivity to kind of fly into you. It's tough. There's one guy in the indies that I quite enjoy named Calvin Tankman. And he's a big boy and he's a hard hitter. So I've enjoyed, we've used him a handful of times at West Coast. I think quite a bit of Calvin. So he's a bigger guy that can go.
Why don't we check in with the commentary here just a little bit, see what they have to say.
Now both Danielson and Aries basically double teaming Morishima.
Some unlikely partners here going to work on Morishima. Runs through the clothesline attempt. They avoid the double clothesline. Roaring elbow from Aries. And one from Danielson.
Aries with Morishima going for the brainbuster.
Can he get the big man off his feet? No. Suplex from Morishima.
Danielson now. Going for the crossface chicken wing on Morishima, it looks like. Or just holding him in position.
This is great.
It is, isn't it?
I love when signature stuff in multi-man matches just works out. Oh,
here comes that shit heel.
And elbows.
And Chris Hero trying to steal the glory.
Watch out, Todd Sinclair.
With the shenanigans from Chris Hero.
While they do damage on Morishima, look at Chris Hero. What a jackass.
When we get through this, I'll tell you about the hands.
Okay.
Elbow from Aries on Hero.
Yeah, I don't know what
And
the hell that was.
Danielson has Hero dumped to the floor.
Oh, but you got dumped.
Now they can
Wow.
And once again, Aries and
Okay,
Danielson
Dave,
turn
let's
their
bring the sound
attention
down.
to Takeshi
And
Morishima as they place
Chris, tell us what the hands are about.
Yeah, it's so dumb. I remember watching an old NWA match with Tully. Oh, he's about to get dumped here. Oh, God.
Wow.
Ugh!
Holy shit. Holy shit. Well,
And
there we go.
again, they're using their offense as they would normally use in matches,
Right.
but it just ends up being and then I have to, if they didn't have my weight on top of him, they wouldn't have eliminated him.
Right.
Yeah. There was a Tully Blanchard match on NWA where he was wrestling a guy that did not look completely smartened up to the business.
A lot of
And
those.
he had to kind of like shoot on the guy to like take him down. It wasn't like super aggressive, but it was like this guy wasn't cooperating. So he got this guy down to the mat and smashed him and then just pinned him.
Mhm.
Right. And then after the match, he picked him up and did the slingshot suplex. And then as soon as he got up from the slingshot suplex, he just lifted his arms straight in the air, spread his fingers wide, and just had his hands up. And I just thought that's the most like generic celebrate. Everybody has like their own pose, but just
Right.
arms straight up, fingers extended. So I ended up doing that like this whole run. Hey,
Hey, all right.
Gotta love a cartwheel right in the middle
Yes,
there.
there.
very, very Bam Bam Bigelow.
This is great, Chris. Great stuff.
Yeah, thank you, pal.
Yeah.
Hey, we got some questions here, and I know that this will be one you want to talk about because I doubt that Tony is very familiar. Bryant says, "Can you talk about how great Larry Sweeney was?"
Oh my goodness. He was just the best. He was one of my students from Chikara, and he just was a natural. He loved old school wrestling way before he was even in wrestling. So it just kind of came so naturally to him. And he just had the gift of gab. Before he could put on a double wrist lock, he was cutting, these promos that were just always entertaining and fascinating. It would always go in a direction you wouldn't expect. And you could just hear him talk and talk and talk. And that's just how he was too. You'd be on road trips with him. He had a very interesting life. He was way more cultured than most of us in pro wrestling who had just gotten into pro wrestling. And that was that. He had lived a couple lives before pro wrestling. So he was just a fantastic guy. His strength wasn't his wrestling, but just being a wrestler. He just was awesome. And here in Ring of Honor, he did have a handful of matches, but he was primarily a manager. And we even one year we got to do a spot with Bruno Sammartino where Sammartino came out to talk and Sweeney interrupted him and talked some shit. And then I came out like I was going to attack Bruno, and then Bruno did his big wind up punch and beat the shit out of Sweeney. It was just great stuff. And he was just the perfect guy to work with guys from the previous generations. He was awesome. We lost him in 2011, but he's just such a memorable friend, a memorable performer. You watch his promos now and they still hold up. He would absolutely be on television now. He's just so entertaining. He would have been completely undeniable. Oh, did I lose?
No.
What size?
There we go.
What size was he again?
Gosh, I'm bad with sizes because I'm tall.
No, I thought you were going to say 12 large, brother.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's a great story too. That came from Tom Brandy.
Tom Brandy.
Tom Brandy used to work these Pennsylvania independent shows. I think I'm done here. Yeah, that son of a bitch.
Wow. Oh, and the fans really popped on that one, Chris.
Yeah. And the guy with my Chris Hero shirt is just clapping and clapping and he thinks it's awesome. That's bullshit, man.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of, we need to get you a Chris Hero tattoo, Tony.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yes. We got to do this.
I'm all for tattoos.
Let's get it.
Let's film it. Let's do it.
Let's get it. There's Tank Tolan. He was awesome. He was a very underrated guy out of OVW. He was like a Jersey guy that ended up He was one of the dicks in WWF for a bit, and
Mm,
just a great guy. He was like an essential part to our group. He was my personal trainer. He's like the guy that looked all gassed up and just was completely opposite to what I was, and it was just and a great dude too. So, all right, now you're gonna watch two very good pro wrestlers throw down.
Tony, did you ever run across any dicks in WWE?
In WWE, any dicks in WWE?
Yeah.
Not that I recall.
Okay.
I know everybody that I saw in the locker room had a dick, but I don't know any dicks.
You were checking them out?
No, I mean, I was assuming, you can assume that,
Well, you've admitted you were a hog watcher. Don't get shy about it because Chris is here. He
Okay.
knows.
Well, I mean, sometimes you are just you're just kind of, it's hard to ignore them.
He's a commentator, Conrad. He's just
Right.
doing his he's doing his research. He's got to
Yes.
I'm
doing
my
research. You never know when it's going to come in handy.
Yeah, it all started with Alex Wright. You see Alex Wright, and then you go, "Oh my God!" And then all of a sudden, it's like you notice it. And
you saw the Wonderkind.
Yeah, and you can't ignore it anymore.
I see Schiavone over there flexing with the Tony Khan bottle of water.
Thank you very much.
He can't help it. He can't help it.
I gotta say, okay, there's two types of water I like: this water and another one in the blue bottle. I don't know, but I always drink your water out of a glass. Don't drink it out of plastic. That's all I do.
Sorry, am I disappointing you? I got a core over here.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You're Chris Hero. What can I tell you? So, Chris, one thing you bring up so many names, and we've talked. We even had Excalibur on with us, and we talked. One of the great things about pro wrestling is the hundreds and thousands of people that you meet, you get to work with, you get to know, you get to travel with. It really is great. That's what I love about wrestling. Just the dynamic people, and sometimes not so dynamic people that you meet and get to work with.
Yeah, I started wrestling when I was 18.
Mhm.
I didn't know shit about fuck, right?
Yeah.
As you would say, I didn't know anything.
Right.
And it really traveling and wrestling and performing and going to this town and just really traveling, especially when you're that young, it really breaks down so many stereotypes you grow up with. These people that look like this act like this, and these people do this and that and whatever. And it's like the big scary guys and the big friendly guys. And then you find out pretty soon that it's all bullshit. It's,
right. Yes.
it's, it just really, that's where I got my education. I got my education in traveling the roads and hopping in cars and sleeping in couches and splitting hotel rooms. And then also showing up to a venue and a guy you've never met before, you exchange pleasantries and you go out and trust each other's health.
Right.
And I think people kind of rag on a bit of the huggy and the handshaky nature of pro wrestling. And it does have a bit of a insincere Carney feel sometimes, but we do really develop a closeness.
Yes.
Where we just spend so much time with each other, and you can not see somebody for a decade and pick up right where you left off. It's a really special thing. And I assume it's similar to other professions where you're traveling and performing, and it is really something special. It's one of the things that kind of goes underappreciated. Just the vast varieties of humans we're able to interact with.
I wish you had been in Erie, because I flew into Cleveland and I drove up and back Erie, Cleveland by myself, just singing my Bryan Adams songs. And
yeah, we need to. Was Marvez in the car?
No.
Oh man,
yeah. I love it. Marvez in the car.
Yeah. It would be it would be a privilege to get to do another road trip with you. We got to work out one of those again soon.
We sure do.
I enjoy it quite a bit.
Bryant wants to know, Chris, what were some of your favorite rivalries from Ring of Honor?
Rivalries, just starting out with the whole CZW versus Ring of Honor feud. I could not have asked for a better way to kick things off. It was yeah, it was just fantastic and it wasn't just one individual, it was a handful of people. So I could be in there with whether it was a Samoa Joe or a Homicide or a Danielson or a Roderick Strong or Aries, who's on screen right now.
Right.
They're just I was an outsider. So I got to kind of be an actual heel, an actual dickhead that people wanted to see me get my ass kicked. And I'm not going to say it's gone from wrestling, because it absolutely isn't gone, but I'd like to see it more, where you spend your time just kind of stoking the hatred from the fans, so that when you finally get punched in the mouth, it's exciting. Take a look at Ricochet, man. How good is Ricochet at getting under people's skin
tremendous.
in, like, on camera and then also in real life,
Right.
and then you see him get smacked on top of his head, and just how satisfying is that?
I know.
You're just like, yeah, do it
Yeah.
again.
Great heel. You want to see get his ass smacked.
Yeah, I really love that aspect of wrestling. Not everybody can satisfy that role, but it's awesome. Last Chancery here, great submission hold.
I love it. Last Chancery.
Yeah, it was kind of like Shane Douglas used to do this neck breaker, where he would roll up someone's back and kind of pop them up out of the air, and that's where that came from. I just love these guys have such definitive movesets. The fans know what they're doing. They know what they're going for. So it really makes for like an awesome environment when guys are trading back and forth, and he's going for his submission. He's going for he hits his strike. No, he hits his strike. Yeah, it's some of the coolest stuff about pro wrestling.
We are talking to our good buddy, Chris Hero, who we've known each other for a couple of years. Chris, it's been so great getting to know you and Rachel, and just great people, man.
I appreciate it. And also just, you always let me bug you with questions, and I really do appreciate the time we get on these busy work. You know what? There'd be some work days where I don't even see you.
Yeah, I know.
But there's other times where we just have a little bit of time to sit and chat, whether it's in catering or in the office. It's just really nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I had lost my train of thought earlier. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my tag matches with Claudio against the Briscoe brothers.
Yes.
I would say, bar none, that's my best rivalry in Ring of Honor. Like, those guys were just so fantastic. They were great opponents. Did we get a finish here? No, not yet. Sorry. Both of them. Yeah, I guess we did get a finish. Hell yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, those guys were awesome, and we got to do so many cool things with them. Actually, if we get to it tonight, one of the matches I recommended was a tag match against the Briscoes here in Charlotte, actually, at the Grady Cole.
Wow. How about that?
I think what we've got next, and we do have that match coming up in 2 matches. So we will be watching your match with the Briscoes. But first, we're going to watch your match against one of the best of all time. A lot of people think he may be the best wrestler of this generation. Kenny Omega is who we'll be watching next. This one went down on October 10th, 2009 in Indianapolis, Indiana. There you see him, a very young Kenny Omega. Wow. And wow, look at Chris Hero looking a little different. Different gear here completely.
So let's see. This is 09, you said, correct?
Yes.
So without getting too far into it, 08 going into 09, I thought I was going to lose my job with Ring of Honor. I just thought, well, I think this is done here. So I started working. I had already worked for Pro Wrestling Noah a couple times before, and then I had inquired to them about obviously going back and working some more, but also staying in the dojo and spending more time in Japan. So throughout 09, over the course of 3 tours, I spent 3 months in Japan staying at the Noah dojo. But that was where I decided, like, all right, what can I do gear wise? What can I, what kind of look do I want to try to do? Like, so Barry Windham was a bit of an inspiration of like, all right, I think, I'm never going to be built like some of these other guys, but what suits me and what can I get to with some hard work. So yeah, this was, that summer I had started wearing trunks just for the first time.
Right.
So this is a little bit later on in that year.
Had Kenny been a part of WWE developmental at this point?
Yeah. So I don't know the exact timeline, but he did spend, 6 months or so in Deep South.
Right.
And then I met him on a Jersey All Pro show where he wrestled Jay Lethal. And I remember being like, who is this guy? Like, where'd this guy come from? He's like really good.
Right.
And, I'm the guy that's like, I know everybody, like, anybody that's anything, I know him. And I see this guy that's incredible. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Where, so I talked to him actually, and I may have this wrong. You have to ask him about this at TV, but I believe his connection to work Jersey All Pro was set up through Kevin Matthews, KM.
Wow. The great
Yes,
KM.
the great KM.
Wow.
So I remember it's a little embarrassing now looking back on this, but Kenny did his Kreutz Wrath, which is an electric chair, and then he pops him up and catches him into a German, right?
Mhm.
He had done that against Lethal as a false finish. And then, Lethal ended up winning the match by whatever. Lethal's like a Jersey guy. It was Kenny's first match there. And I remember pulling Kenny aside like he's a greenhorn and saying, "Hey man, that's a pretty good move. Like, you just be thoughtful about that if you want to have someone kick out of that, because it just looks really awesome, and just and then I just feel like such a goober now thinking back on that, like me trying to tell Kenny Omega what's good and what isn't. But he was, Kenny's great.
Yeah.
He was always awesome. And then I got to see him more regularly. I got to spend time with him in Japan as well. We'd meet up and grab some food and go watch some smaller shows. I always thought very highly of him. And just getting in the ring and being able to he's just so dynamic and so creative, and he came at things. He's just such a creative guy that he would come at things from a different direction, and you
Right.
could have watched 10,000 matches and he's going to pull out something that's a little bit different that you're like, wow, I never thought about it that way. Okay. Right.
Yeah. Special guy. Really is. And the health problems that he's had recently and still being able to perform.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Unbelievable. That's Shane Hagedorn, who worked for years for AEW in the merch department.
Yeah.
He was a student of the Ring of Honor school. Like CM Punk was his trainer.
Right.
He was a part of that class, and so Hagedorn had been around for a while. He was in a faction called the Hangman 3 with was like BJ Whitmer, Pierce, Brent Albright. He was kind of like their guy. And then stuff with Sweeney had kind of he was having some medical issues, and just kind of, it's pretty well documented. He had rapid cycling bipolar disorder and just had some things going on. So he ended up leaving Ring of Honor. And Hagedorn was also kind of a part of our group. He'd kind of been absorbed by Sweet and Sour.
Mm-hmm.
So he ended up being the one to manage myself, to manage Claudio.
Okay. I wish Hagedorn was still with us. And
yeah. Oh, great guy.
Yeah. You're
Love
not
him.
kidding. Yeah.
Michigan State fan.
Yeah. That's a smart guy. Really is. Yeah. Michigan State fan. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Chris, Bad Money Slim, he knows you're a shoe guy, and he wants to know no colorways, just your top 3 Jordans. And he says his are 5s, 6s, and 10s.
Oh my God.
What are your top 3 Jordans?
11s, and 11s.
Wow.
No, 11s are I love them so much, man. That was like the shoe when I was in high school. So you kind of always go back to that. I love the bread colorway, the black and red. But what else do I like? I like, also it's my era. So the 12s and 13s I also enjoy, but really it's the 11 first and foremost. I mean, you could probably see I've got 4 of them up there.
Okay.
I'll,
Go ahead and get them, Chris. I want to see them.
where we got the low black
Wow.
and red colorway.
Wow.
Yeah, these are my favorites.
Okay, that's cool.
These are my favorites.
Did I show
Little dusty. I gotta wipe them off.
Did I show you the ones with that I got with Kobe's picture on the
Yeah,
side?
yeah, the blue soles.
Right, the blue soles. And
Sharp.
You know,
Rachel texted me that night, and she goes, "Was Tony wearing those? Because was this the night of the Hangman segment?
No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't. But I was in the ring that night with some stuff on.
Yes.
But you know what? Unlike any other Air Force Ones, all the other ones are fine. That one rubbed a blister in my foot.
Oof.
Isn't that something?
Oof. Oh,
and none
watch
other,
his behind here.
Whoa.
That gave him a blister, Tony.
Well, he shouldn't be wearing those trunks.
Yeah.
Those Air Force One Kobe trunks.
Yeah.
Chris, you're not a Jordan 1 fan?
I think they're fine. I just don't have the same nostalgia for them. Like I have like the Wu-Tang pair.
Yeah.
I've got let's see. Yeah, like I have a handful. It's just I have like the Duke colorway, the lows.
Yeah.
The blue, black, and white.
Yeah.
But
Chris
it's a good shoe. I think it's a classic shoe.
Chris is a big basketball fan and a big Duke fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bryant has another question. He wants to know, did you enjoy your early singles run, or did you prefer your King of Wrestling era? So tagging with Claudio's or the singles?
So that's like trying to pick, the chocolate or the peanut butter from a Reese's, right?
Yeah.
You got to have them both. I just was really fortunate. My main run in Ring of Honor was from 2006 to 2011. So that's a good 5 years of action. So I got to come in as the Invader, eventually transition to the Super Athlete. I had the first run with Claudio as the Kings of Wrestling. And then Claudio got signed for the first time, which split us up as a team. And then he and I went from the Super Athlete to That Young Knockout Kid was my nickname. And it wasn't the Knockout Kid. It was That Young Knockout Kid, a very obnoxiously worded phrase that I got from a Mike Tyson interview from 1986. But once that, I kind of, it took me a little while, but once that really started to kick in, that was when Claudio and I were ready to reform as a team. And we just had, that run we'd have that until we left Ring of Honor in 2011. I had a handful of matches after that, but just really fortunate to have so many different eras. And I was very thoughtful about what I dressed up like, what gear I wore, what entrance stuff I had, so that you can look at a picture or a video of me and you can kind of tell, oh, that's probably like 2007. Like, oh, that's definitely 2010. Right. So
Chris, I saw you with the move right there that you don't see much of. At least I don't, but I thought was pretty cool. Opponent is on the apron and you do a running drop kick on your opponent on the apron. So you're kicking up.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I have size 13s. I love throwing big boots. I love kicking people in the face. And around 2009, this time, I really started implementing a lot of these flash drop kicks where it's just sudden out of nowhere. It's 1 foot. So I don't have to worry about, I never had like a good regular drop kick. I remember, you start wrestling, you're like, let me throw a drop kick and whatever. And it never looked as good as other people's actual good drop kicks. No Doug Furness, no Paul Roma, no Jim Brunzell.
Okada.
Oh my gosh. Right. Right. So I had to come up with something that was different. So that my 1-footed drop kick was at least different. It didn't necessarily look as good. So I believe this match is I've got a bit of a story on the finish here.
Okay.
Hell yeah, man. So this is part of a survival of the fittest tournament where you have 6 singles matches and then the 6 winners go into a 6-way elimination match. And I had won that in 2007. And this is 2 years later. I'm trying to get back into it. Kenny's trying to get into it. And those matches are tricky because it's one day you're trying to come up with a good singles match, but you're also trying to come up with an entertaining final. What do we have here? Is he going to give me a little drop kick here? No, crossbody.
We know after this, Chris, we would see Kenny have a lot of success as a light heavyweight in New Japan. How common was it, or how special was it when Kenny did it to be able to transition successfully from being the king of the mountain on the light heavyweight side to then having the big boy belt, the IWGP? That doesn't seem like it's that common in this modern era.
No, and to me, it's doubly impressive because the history of Japanese wrestling, the culture of Japan, where there is such a separation between heavyweights and junior heavyweights, right?
Yes.
It's just, it's ingrained into the way they believe, the way they look at things. Keep an eye on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
And 1, 2, he kicked out, but the ref said, no, he did not kick out. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how about that? Okay.
Yeah. Here, yeah. Pause this for a second if you can.
Okay. Yeah. Let's pause it, Dave.
Hey, did you know you can own for less than your current rent? We can help at savewithconrad.com. Stop throwing your money away on rent. You don't know any wealthy renters. Start building wealth for your family with my family at savewithconrad.com.
This gentleman referee was not a regular Ring of Honor referee.
Okay.
He was friends with Adam Pearce, and he was assigned on our match. And looking back on it, that was not the strongest kick out, but it absolutely was not our finish. So that we had about 2 more minutes of stuff, and poor Kenny is putting me over. Doesn't get to show about 2 minutes of his stuff at a time when he was very new in Ring of Honor. Sorry, Kenny.
I think it worked out for him. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the worked match that he was not able to get 2 more minutes of action in, really set his career back. So let me just finish up my thought real quick. The difference between junior heavyweights and heavyweights is just especially in 70s, 80s, early 90s Japanese wrestling, but then also the difference between native wrestlers and foreign wrestlers. So for Kenny to go from a foreigner to essentially a beloved hometown foreigner, and then also to go from junior heavyweight to the best heavyweight in the country, it's just incredible. It's incredible. I think AJ kind of started the blueprint, and then Kenny followed it along and took it to just such great heights. Just a really special thing. And you could take away everything that Kenny has done in AEW and just look at everything up until his last stuff in New Japan, and he'd still be a Hall of Famer. Just incredible guy. Yeah.
Well, we're ready to watch that big tag match. You mentioned earlier you felt like the best match you ever had was you and Claudio against the Briscoes. You mentioned it was from Charlotte, North Carolina, and it sure was. It went down on March 3rd, 2010 at the Grady Cole Center in front of 837 fans here in Charlotte. I think at different points we may hear from Kevin Kelly, Jim Cornette, and Dave Prazak all on the call. Let's take a look here at our playback here. I'm excited for this one.
Still standing from the very first ROH show. The era of honor begins back in February of 2002 at the Murphy Rec Center in Philadelphia. They're here in 2010 and looking to hold on to those brand new belts. The gold, representing the very best in tag team wrestling in the world today.
This electric atmosphere continues.
as we move on now with the ROH World Tag Team Championship.
Time to man up.
So, Chris, tell us a little bit about wrestling the Briscoes. What made them so special? You know, I was just talking to Jeff a couple of weeks ago on his podcast, My World, and we asked him the most underrated tag team, and he landed on the Briscoes. You know, because obviously, if you're a Ring of Honor fan, they weren't underrated, but they never had the big run in WCW or in ECW or even in TNA. And you know, ultimately, and it never really happened in AEW, but now we see how great Mark is. And I just can't help but think, man, what could have been? I think they're maybe the most underrated tag team of all time.
Yeah, they're just so authentic. They were so physical. You know, these guys are just, there's no hesitation. They're not timid in the slightest. They just come straight at you. They were both athletes. You know, they both played football pretty seriously. They left pro wrestling for a little while to pursue football. But it was just in their nature, man. They just, and also just, they're the same, but they're different. You know, they're like a bookend tag team where you see the two of them and you're not familiar. You may think, oh, they're twins, right? But they each had their own strengths in the ring. They both had their, just, you know, what would be their calling cards. Just awesome. But then also, sometimes I talk about the match before the match, right? And the match before the match is when you sit down with somebody and you try to come to an agreement of what kind of story you want to tell in the match, what kind of shit you want to get in. And sometimes that's hard. You know, you have different egos, you have different insecurities, you have things that you're confident in, things that you're not confident in, but you guys have to be on the spot, figure out what you want to do, how you can make it look good, how you can give the fans what they're going to want or make the fans want something. Two of the easiest people to ever deal with in that regard. And just, when you call a match with somebody, it's easy for one person to kind of take the lead and be like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. Right. And, you know, maybe it's a great match, but sometimes the person that's following gets lost. Like, lost is in, they stray from who they are. They stray from what they typically do. And it looks like they're just keeping up with somebody as opposed to holding their own. That's never a case with these guys. These guys are just awesome. You know, I was so fortunate to share the ring with them, singles, tag, multi-man, international, just awesome guys. Good locker room guys too. Never seen anybody with any type of strong negative words against them personally.
Right.
Just awesome pro wrestlers, just awesome guys. Yeah, the Briscoes.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark had his newest baby backstage on Wednesday in Greensboro. Do we lose Chris?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Okay. For some reason, yeah. What do I have to click here?
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Press Control E. Is it coming back?
We see a black screen right now, but we hear your voice.
Oh, and I have to switch to the other camera.
Okay.
Because I've got the.
Yeah.
Well, pardon me, gentlemen. I'm about to get flapjacked in the ring.
Okay. Yeah, I saw it. Absolutely.
I'm flapjacked out of the ring over here.
Yeah, but I was saying that Mark had his 9th baby. He and his wife had him backstage. Wow. Those kids.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Speaking of numbers,
yes.
Adam has a question for you here, Chris. He wants to know, who was your top 5 in WCW? So just your favorites to watch as a fan in your years watching WCW. Who's your top 5, Chris?
Favorite character, I'm going to go ahead and go with Lionheart Chris Jericho.
Okay. Very cool.
His heel stuff, 97, 98 was just incredible
It
to
was.
me.
Yep.
And because of that, I'm going to have to also say Dean Malenko. I loved Dean's matches, especially with Chris. I just thought those stories, I thought it was really great.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero.
Sure.
Eddie's just the best, man. Like the best. I rate him as the best of all time. And the reason I do that is because his career ran the full gamut. He did everything. He did it everywhere. He did it with everybody. And that's not even factoring in the influence he's had on wrestling and the fingerprints of his that are still felt in wrestling today.
Sure.
So you know my taste so far. So I'm gonna go pre WCW, late NWA. I'm gonna go with the Great Muta. God, he was just so cool, man. He was so cool, and I couldn't, I just that it just introduced me to a completely different. Yeah, I say introduced. I was 9 years old, and I didn't really know what wrestling was outside of press slams and big splashes. But just his, even looking back at how rapid fire he was, his like herky jerky motions where he'd throw an elbow drop or a cartwheel elbow into the corner. He was just awesome.
Last one.
And last one, this is just going to be a weird, bizarre one. And I just fell in love with his aesthetic, and he, you can say what you will about his work in the ring or his career, but I really, really just loved the way he looked. And I still think about that part of his career quite a bit. And that's Mortis. Mortis, right? I just thought he looked so awesome. That was 97, 98 when I first saw him. And I just appreciated that he tried to do different things in matches. Did they all work? No, they didn't. But it just left a lasting effect on me. So that's if I had to sit down and iron out the people that I thought were my 5 favorites.
Right.
It might be slightly different, but that's just a little bit of a glimpse into my tastes.
That's good stuff, Chris. And thank you very, very much for not saying Disco Inferno.
Oh.
Geez. And I knew that's what Adam was fishing for.
Yeah, the less said, the better.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Chris, your black screen is up again and down again.
Jack the phone guy says Chris Hero has the best driver's license picture I've ever seen. Can he give a little insight on what happened on that Australian Border Patrol show that's made its rounds over the years online?
Conrad, have you seen me on border security? Have you seen that before?
I have not.
Okay. Tony, I'll show it to you one day at work, or I'll send you the link. Essentially what happened, this is December of 08. I think, was it December 08? Maybe it was December 07. Whatever. One of those Decembers. I'm going over to Australia to work a handful of indie shows for this group in Queensland. And I had a tourist visa. I didn't have a visa to perform, but I had a tourist visa. I'd done a tour of Australia before, or I'd maybe done 2 before, and I did not quite understand. I thought it was fine. So I'm going there for just like 4 days or something like that. And I've got some big bags, and then they start to go through the bags and they go, what are all these shirts? What are all these pictures? What are all these, and it's my merch and such. So I'm like, so eventually I get pulled into a room. And it looks like an interrogation room, like the chairs bolted to the ground, the tables bolted to the ground.
Right.
And I can see across into this office, and I see that they have my website pulled up on the screen.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, the second they came in, I was like, hey, this is what happened. This is what I said. This is why I said what I said. And, I was just thought it was fine. I was hoping to expedite the process, and sure enough, I don't have the right visa. So they said, hey, we've got a camera crew here filming, this documentary. It turned out to be a TV show, but they're like, they're going to give you some waivers. If you want to sign it, cool. If not, no worries. And I just wanted to be as cooperative as possible. So I cooperated. I signed all these papers. And this ended up being on a television show where it's like these people trying to smuggle fish into the country, or they have an invalid, or they have some kind of a warrant for them or whatever. It's like this show where it's like, oh my God, all these big bad travelers. And then it's me, the pro wrestler, bringing my PWG World Championship into this country of Australia, trying to perform at a show. So
Wow.
it's a pretty funny video. They, I have like the silly, my Pennsylvania state, my driver's license at the time, I had like a silly photo on it. So they zoom in on it for a little while. I had like this bracelet. I have a necklace. They're like zooming in on all these things. They're like, look at this weird guy.
Oh,
so
I love that.
But in the end, I was able to communicate with the promoter I was working for, and he paid for the proper entertainer's visa, and I was able to get into the country and wrestle. But the annoying thing is that they kept me in Sydney all day, so I missed all my flights, and I had to like buy a new flight to get to where I was going out of my pocket.
Wow.
But that's much better than getting a stamp in your passport and getting sent on your way. So sent back home, that is. So.
You're right.
But yeah, it's kind of entertaining. I'm a bit performative throughout the interview because I'm just trying to be casual and friendly, and it worked, but it's a little silly looking back on.
Which is how you are, casual and friendly in real life.
I do my best.
Right. We're seeing a great match. You and Claudio were obviously a fine tag team, and a tag team for many, many years. And so actually, how long were you and Claudio a tag team for?
So we became a tag team kind of by happenstance. Like Claudio was a student of mine and had moved over. He had gotten his green card from the green card lottery and moved over to Pennsylvania. We were living right outside of Reading, Pennsylvania. And we would travel to shows together. It took him a little while to start getting on more shows. You know how it is. You move to a new area, you got to meet the promoters and stuff. So he was working IWA Mid-South and ended up getting on CZW. And at that time, it was supposed to be Claudio teaming up with another one of my students in this like gauntlet match, but the other student had some kind of car issues, was not able to make it. So I ended up working twice and teaming with Claudio in this gauntlet. And I just gave him Chris Hero pants to wear and a Chris Hero top. So we kind of looked like, it was like me making my lackey wear hand-me-down gear, kind of essentially is what it was. Yeah, and we were in this match, and we did a couple different matches. We weren't the Kings of Wrestling yet. We became the Kings of Wrestling in Chikara. Wow. And then from there, we just had this run where we were the CZW Tag Team Champions. We were the Chikara Tag Champions. We were the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, like all at the same time. And then that was...
And you still with
We're
us?
watching. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's with us. The Kings of Wrestling here are Claudio Castagnoli and Chris Hero, and they're wrestling the Briscoes, Jay and Mark Briscoe. And you just mentioned Mark has celebrated his ninth child. So is he trying to hope like he can build his own Field of Dreams? Do you need to tell him that was just a movie? He doesn't need his own team?
I think what he's trying to do is, if he gets 10, he can have his kids play 5-on-5 in the backyard. Little basketball game, Did you see that move that was Claudio holding one of the Briscoes up, and then Chris running, jumping up on the apron and hitting the guy with a forearm shot? Was a great tag team move. I think a lot of times we have to, and I wish the young kids would do this. Go back and watch a lot of the old. And I know this is not that old, but watch some of the old independent and wrestling matches and come up with the stuff. I really think that they should. Chris, I was saying that move that you did where you run up on the apron and Claudio's holding one of the Briscoes up and you smash the guy was tremendous tag team move. You don't see that much of that. I see a lot of moves here, lot of things that kids probably could look at and try to be a part of it. I mean, try to use it.
Yeah, I'm passionate about wrestling, but I'm
Yeah.
also especially passionate about tag team wrestling.
Right.
And I think especially some of the younger guys and girls think about tag moves instead of teamwork. And it's like, it's not always about grabbing this guy. I do this move. He does this move. We do this move. Right. It's like just the different types of teamwork that you have to get yourself in position to, it's just a subtle subconscious thing where you just look, wow, they look like they know what they're doing. It's just the way they move around the ring.
Yeah.
Just guys and girls don't necessarily tag enough.
Right.
A tag match will start and then somebody will be in the ring for the first 2 minutes of the match.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's fine. Sometimes that's perfectly fine. But other times, like the baseline should be tag in, tag out, tag in, tag out. So that when the other guys cannot tag in, it creates this sense of like, oh man, if they don't tag in, this is going to be over.
Right.
But yeah, I very much love just the way you hold a guy, the way you turn them, the way you display them, the way you make this tag, the way you just, and also teams aren't necessarily getting the reps that would force you to like learn how to be more natural when you're in there, just to be more spontaneous.
Sure.
We're in our heads so much about remembering this and going into this and going into that sometimes we forget to be present.
Very well said. Chris Hero is with us on a very special night about not only wrestling and Chris Hero's career, but also pro wrestling and Nikes and shoes. And Chris, you're one of our coaches. And I know that's a lot of times that can be a rewarding job, but a lot of times it can be a tough job.
I think it can be both simultaneous. I find it incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
And how cool is it to sit with talent and just be the slightest bit of, just give them the slightest crinkle of an idea and they take it and turn it into something that makes an arena just lose their minds.
Right.
And, I don't have to take a bump. I don't have to get punched in the mouth. I don't have to do any of that. And I'm still reaping some of the rewards because I feel like, wow, I really did something here.
Yeah, that's very well said. That's cool stuff. And this match with the Briscoes was that, one thing I've always, and I guess it's because I never saw many Briscoe matches, and I've seen Mark, and I saw the double chain match that they had with FTR, which I guess was their last match. But there's no juice here. Was that by design, or was that just?
Yeah. So we are not deep in our feud yet. This is just starting.
Okay.
Claudio and I had just kind of reformed. This is what, April? Is that right, Conrad? I think it's April. Yeah, it's right after Mania weekend.
Yep, that's right.
Also, just as an Easter egg, the week before this, Tony, I threw my back out and I could barely walk, man. It was bad. So 6-7 days later, I'm here. And it's pretty cool that you can't even tell how bad my back was.
Wow.
I really thought, I wasn't sure that I'd be able to make this match. So this is Briscoes as the champions, Claudio and I as challengers.
Right.
And we had just at the end of Final Battle, the previous December, we had just reformed as a team.
Yeah.
So we're not deep in the middle of an angle yet.
Right.
Oh, a little too close.
Right.
Oh, is this going to be, I try to fold him up. I fold him up and guess what?
Wow.
Bam.
How about that?
I won't make that mistake again. We do have some matches where there's some pretty good blood. If we end up doing another one of these, there's one in Toronto where I bled more than I've ever bled.
Really?
Yeah. And I say that in a positive way.
Yeah.
Because I live to see another day. Yeah.
We're watching you wrestle Jay here, and obviously it's been a few years since we lost Jay. What do you think would be the thing that fans would be the most surprised to learn about Jay? I know a lot of people feel like they know him based on things they've read or things other people have said, but what can you tell us about the real life Jay that may surprise some listeners?
Just seeing the videos of him and his daughter and the cheerleading videos, it's like, man, what a gut punch, man.
Right.
Jay is the one that had said some basically some jackass things online.
Right.
And what he thought in the time he thought he was saying the right thing, doing the right thing. But it hurt a lot of people. And that essentially cut them off from some opportunities. But it's one of these situations where if you spend any time with the person and you spend any time with the man in person, you realize like it's what you see online isn't what you get in real life. What you get in real life isn't what you see online. For some people it is, but it can be so different. And I hate that he said these awful things. I fucking hate it. But I also knew the man, and I just always thought so highly of him as a man, as a father, as a performer, that when those things kind of happen, you just feel really disappointed. And you go, oh man, this person showed their true colors. Because it is that way with some people, where some people are holding something inside and they finally get it out. And the next thing you know, they have made that their entire identity, saying all this dumb shit. And they just really embrace it. It's happened with a lot of people. But that was not him. He just was, like I said, a real well-liked individual, a great father. Yeah, just what a guy. There was a real sensitivity and a real softness to him that if you only ever knew Jay Briscoe, the pro wrestler, that you'd be greatly surprised to see, because he was an assassin in the ring, man. And he could get behind a microphone or get in front of a camera and would scare the shit out of you, because you're like, this guy is gonna slit my throat.
Right.
You know, this guy is gonna gouge my eyes out. But that's just how good he was. I implore those of you listening to this, if you haven't heard some Jay Briscoe promos, go back and watch some of them. Cosmetically Appealing is like the first one that comes to mind. Terry Funk Ain't Wearing No Mouthpiece, you know.
Best. Love it.
And even if you have heard him, I'd implore you to go back and listen to him again, because it's so desperately vital to the fiber of pro wrestling. Real people saying real things, getting ready, like, oh man, this guy comes to the ring and you go, somebody's getting their ass kicked. Right. And that was Jay Briscoe, man. He was awesome.
Chris, I know you're a big ECW fan, and I know this may be a stretch, but maybe you'll see where I'm coming from. From an authenticity standpoint, their promos often reminded me of the way I felt watching a promo from New Jack.
New Jack. I knew you were going to say it. Yeah. Yes, fortunately, no justifiable homicides on the records of either Briscoe brother. But yeah, absolutely, man. You just thought someone's getting stabbed.
Yeah,
someone
it's real,
legit getting hurt tonight. Yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Maybe it's one of those things, we talk so much about, and I said this before, younger wrestlers should watch some of these old matches. Maybe they should watch some promos too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the glue in between.
Of course it is.
That's the slices of bread that keep the meat together.
Yeah. So you talk about all the big stars on the major promotions throughout time got over with their promos. They really did. And I don't think kids understand that these days. Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, The Rock, right? Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. I mean, these guys could talk, brother.
Boogie Woogie. Pez
Whatley. Hear that, Conrad? One of our favorites on here.
Yeah. The best.
Thunderbolt Patterson.
Yeah. Ooh, it suck in that air, man. It was great. Ole Anderson, just great stuff.
Okay, so Tony, you'll see Wheeler and Claudio do this, but You're not going to see us do it.
Okay.
Bam. That was a staple of me and Claudio's offense. The helicopter crash, the giant swing into the drop kick.
Oh, I love that name.
Yeah.
Helicopter crash.
Helicopter crash.
I'm going to use it.
Just the foop, 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 you know? Oh man, there was a little doomsday elbow.
Okay.
There's something particularly fun about the finish of this. I hope the finish doesn't cut off too soon after the pinfall of this match. But so here's a story I'll tell you.
Okay.
I used a rolling elbow as my finish. Rolling elbow was like my main move. And you'll hear people call it a roaring elbow. Roaring elbow is just kind of like a mistranslation. Joey Styles unfortunately popularized that watching Masato Tanaka matches, because if you hear it on commentary, it does sound like roaring elbow. It is a rolling elbow because you spin in a circle, which we call a roll. So I took great pride in this move, and what might just be a transitionary strike for some people, I made it into my finish. And there was a wrestler, the patriarch of pro wrestling Noah, Mitsuharu Misawa, who had tragically passed away in the summer prior, the summer of 2009. His signature move was the rolling elbow.
Helicopter crash. There you go.
There it is. And a little catapult. Bing. When I had gone to the Noah dojo and stayed over there, I asked the office, I said, hey, when I get back from this, am I able to say that, while I was on this tour, Mitsuharu Misawa passed down the elbow to me. He showed me the technique. I now have the technique. So they were fine with it. So I was using Misawa's elbow, which as a heel translates to me pulling out a loaded elbow pad, which is a lucky elbow pad that was gifted to me from Misawa. But now I slide the elbow pad for luck, and then I knock the guy out with it. So
wow, how about that?
I gotta be a shyster.
Yes. Hey, I like that that up kick that you use with your long legs, the long kick with a guy on the top. Good stuff. Look at that.
Thank you. Ooh, big old gut wrench there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm about to get sprung boarded upon.
Oh.
Sprung boarded. Yeah. This is good, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah,
I'm really proud. Hey, illegal man. Hey, that's also Paul Turner, by the way. Paul Turner's reffing this.
Wow, how about Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul's such a great guy, man. Just
such a great thing. The babyface hits a move out of desperation, goes for the pin. He's not legal. The illegal heel takes control. Oh, that was the Ricola bomb.
The Ricola bomb, very good.
Ricola. Yeah. Oh, going for the J Driller.
Too strong.
Which you have seen now 1 million times.
Right, exactly.
Unfortunately, not by Jay
Right.
Briscoe. Hey. Yeah, these guys, man. Delaware. Southern Delaware.
Southern Delaware.
Yeah.
It's almost when the Briscoes say, and Jay says he's from Delaware, and they call him like a redneck, but it's almost like he should be from like Alabama, like a real, a real redneck state, right?
Well, it's funny because I have friends from Delaware, and they're like, we know people like the Briscoes in Delaware. Yep. And it's like a typical Southern Delawarean.
Yes. Well, you know what? Listen, one thing I found out for sure, they're rednecks in every state.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah. Guys from Delaware wearing the stars and bars on their shorts.
You just
my
holy
Steiner Brothers
smoke.
move right there.
Steiner Brothers and Head Shrinkers.
Wow.
Yes.
That was tremendous.
Samu, I asked Samu about that one time because when I first started, Samu took me under his wing and was just like a great guy to me. And he was like, I knew we were going to do that. So he takes this header out of the ring, this like hot shot. Oh, we got the KRS one coming. Oh, there we go.
Great teamwork, man. 2. But he kicks out, and Chris Hero can't believe it.
Big kick out. No one had kicked out of that before. KRS one, named after the rapper.
I was fixed to say, I wonder which one of you named it that and why.
Yeah.
Oh.
KRS one, the rapper, very popular in Switzerland. That was King's reign supreme over nearly everybody. That was, oh shit, I done fucked up and hit my own partner. There's no way we're winning the belts here.
As Excalibur would say, friendly fire.
Yeah, friendly fire, or there's a percentage too, right? Was it 14% or something?
Oh, really? Okay.
What is?
We by the way, we had here comes the Jay Driller. Yeah.
Oh, right on Claudio. Paul.
2 and a save.
I had to save his ass.
We had, of course, Excalibur on with some PWG matches, and we had you on commentary for one of them with Excalibur, which we thought was pretty cool.
I always loved doing commentary there.
Yeah.
There was no pressure.
Right.
You could slide in a clever thing here or there.
Right.
Uh-oh, I'm grabbing Paul for something. What's Hagedorn doing? Oh, that's
right on the yam bag.
Uh-oh.
In he comes. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Oh, you're loading it up. What was that you grabbed there? What was that? It doesn't
look
matter.
Staple gun.
No, what I grabbed?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'll see.
Okay.
We would hide it under the and then he is out. I gotta hide the evidence.
Roll him on.
Claudio gets the pin. Hey, Paul, do your fucking job, bro. 1, 2, 3. And then are we going to see Jay? Are we going to see Jay? He rolls over and he starts to puke all over the place.
Really?
Oh, God. What happened?
God.
Which, I forget if it shows. There it is. There
it is. Oh, God.
I tell you what, that gave my elbow some real legitimacy in 2010.
Yeah, it did.
He's still going, brother. Great stuff.
Grady Cole Center. I wrestled in that venue in 1999.
Is that right next to the stadium?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wrestled there in 99 at the NWA 51st show.
Okay. I'm talking about that high school stadium, not the new stadium they have now. I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's a big one right by there.
Right. It used to be called the Park Center.
Okay.
And a lot of times Jim Crockett Promotions ran house shows there back in the day.
Oh, look at the sweet guys helping each other with their belts. Meanwhile, Jay he needs an IV right now. He's lost too many fluids.
I bet you the fans at ringside right on that left side there. Oh God.
What about the next match?
Oh,
hey, little Kings of Wrestling pose.
I love that.
Fantastic, man. Thank you so much for all the time. I don't know what I expected, but this was awesome. I don't know how I never saw that Briscoes match, but thank you very much. This was incredible.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that was the start. We wrestled them all summer long, and then we wouldn't be done with them until Final Battle of that year. So that was when Cornette was aboard. So he was very involved. I mean, Kings of Wrestling and Briscoes, you ask Jim to this day, he just was always very helpful to us, but then also very complimentary of us after all of that. So we were able to resurrect a little old school tag team wrestling, and whether it's match wise or story wise. And that match there kicked off a whole summer of stuff with between myself, Claudio, Mark, and Jay. Shane Hagedorn, Papa Briscoe got involved as well. Good old Mike. Very, very memorable, and I'm very thankful to have been able to have those moments.
Absolutely.
Chris, you're a good man. You're a good friend, and a hell of a coach too, buddy.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me, man. I hope you can tell I really enjoy this, and the people listening. I hope you know how much I enjoy spending time with you guys.
No, thank you very much, man. We appreciate all the time. But Tony, right now, it looks like it's about that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next week, Conrad Thompson will continue his tradition. He will rip on the menus on Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, and Whataburger, and he'll use some profane language. But then we come to you each and every Wednesday on the LibSim Podcast Network. Mondays, we come to you exclusively and ad-free on
Patron, patreon.com/WHW Monday, or of course, adfreeshows.com. All right, real quick, I want to remind everybody, especially this time of year, did you know at savewithconrad.com you can skip your next 2 house payments? That's right. You'll get a cheaper monthly payment and no payments until next year. How about a little Christmas vacation from house payments? That's right. No payments in November or December at savewithconrad.com.